Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive into Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
Oh, yeah, this one's a classic.
It really is. It's all about how powerful our subconscious minds are, Like how much they can actually shape our lives.
Yeah, and it's not just theory.
Right.
It's got all these real-life stories and examples. It's really fascinating.
And the book dives right in, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
one of the first things it talks about is that idea of the subconscious as a treasure house within, like this untapped potential we're all carrying around.
Exactly. The book compares the conscious and subconscious minds to a ship.
Oh, right.
Like the conscious mind is the captain making the decisions, and the subconscious is the crew, just carrying out those orders, no questions asked.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, if your conscious mind keeps feeding the subconscious negative thoughts, well,
Then what?
the subconscious will accept them as commands and, might actually start manifesting them in your life.
Oh, wow.
But the good news is the opposite is true too.
Okay, so is that where the whole power of positive thinking thing comes in?
Exactly. By consciously choosing positive thoughts, you can reprogram your subconscious mind to attract, more positive experiences.
That's incredible. The book also talks about the power of suggestion
Right.
and how that can really affect the subconscious. Like there's that story about the man who lost his arm because a fortune teller told him he would.
Yeah, that's a powerful example of how much our beliefs shape our reality, The subconscious mind, it doesn't analyze or argue with your beliefs, it just acts on them.
So we really need to be careful about what we're telling ourselves, huh?
Exactly. Like, what are some beliefs that might be influencing your experiences right now? Are they helping you or holding you back?
That's a great question. It's like taking stock of your mental inventory.
Right. Once you become aware of those subconscious patterns, you can start to consciously change them.
The book also explores that whole idea of mental healing. The idea that our subconscious mind can, actually heal any ailment. There's some amazing stories about that in the book.
Like that woman who healed a skin tumor through prayer, right?
Yeah, that one's incredible. I mean, I'm definitely open to the power of the mind, but some illnesses seem, purely physical. How does the book address that?
Well, it acknowledges that, but it emphasizes the interconnectedness of the mind and body.
Okay.
It's not dismissing medical science or anything, but it encourages readers to explore the potential of their minds to, contribute to their well-being.
So it's more than just wishing yourself well. You have to actively engage your subconscious in the process.
Exactly.
The book talks a lot about visualization, too,
Yeah.
like creating vivid mental pictures of your desired outcome, as if it's already happened.
Visualization is powerful.
It is. But I have to admit, I'm curious. How do you actually, engage all your senses when you're visualizing?
Well, it's like creating a movie in your mind, You don't just see it, you feel it, smell it, you hear the sounds, everything.
Right.
The more vivid the picture, the more powerful the message to your subconscious.
So it takes practice.
Yeah, it does. It takes practice and consistency. The book suggests making it a regular part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth.
Speaking of routine, the book also talks about how sleep is more than just physical rest.
Oh, absolutely. Sleep is when our subconscious can really work unimpeded.
Right, right.
The book mentions Robert Louis Stevenson.
Oh, the writer?
Yeah, he would instruct his subconscious to, dream up stories for him while he slept.
Wow.
And I've heard other writers say they get ideas from their dreams, too.
Really makes you wonder, what other potential we're unlocking when we're asleep? What do you think?
Well, the book argues that our dreams can offer, insights and guidance from our subconscious.
Okay.
There's that story about the woman who got clarity on a job offer through a dream. And it encourages us to, pay attention to our dreams and see them as potential messages.
So it's like our subconscious mind is this wise advisor always working behind the scenes.
Exactly.
It's amazing to think about.
This all leads to another area that the book explores the power of the subconscious in shaping our relationships.
Oh, that makes sense. It seems like our beliefs about ourselves and our partners would play a big role in how our relationships work,
Absolutely. That's exactly what the book argues.
Okay.
It suggests that by visualizing the qualities we want in a partner, we can, attract those qualities into our lives. And it also emphasizes the importance of emotional maturity, when you're handling disagreements and the power of forgiveness and healing past hurts, all that.
So it all comes back to the idea that our subconscious minds don't judge our beliefs, they just act on them.
Right.
So if we believe we're worthy of love and respect, our subconscious will well, work to bring those experiences to us.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the power we have to shape our reality.
Not just in relationships, but in everything.
Yeah, in all areas of life.
This is already giving me so much to think about. And we're just getting started with this book. There's so much more to explore.
Okay, so we've seen how these subconscious beliefs, can impact our health and relationships.
Right.
But what about money? Like our financial lives?
Yeah, the book gets into that too.
Mhm.
It's really fascinating how it connects the subconscious mind to, financial abundance.
Okay.
Like it kind of debunks that idea that wealth is all about hard work and luck.
Uh-huh.
It's more about, it suggests that wealth is a state of mind.
A state of mind.
Yeah, like a subconscious conviction that attracts the circumstances and the opportunities for financial abundance.
So you're saying that our beliefs about wealth can actually shape our financial reality.
Exactly. Like if we believe in our ability to attract wealth, and we have a positive money mindset,
Okay.
then our subconscious will actually work to align us with opportunities to make it happen.
And on the flip side, if we're always worried about money. Yeah. Right. Or if we believe we're not worthy of abundance, we might be subconsciously sabotaging our own financial success.
That makes sense. So how do we cultivate this, wealth consciousness?
Well, the book suggests a surprisingly simple technique.
Okay, what is that?
You just repeat the word wealth to yourself.
Wealth.
Yeah, slowly and quietly for about 5 minutes before you go to sleep.
Wait, just repeating the word wealth, that seems almost too easy.
I know, right? It sounds simplistic, but the repetition,
Yeah.
it impresses the concept of wealth onto the subconscious mind, especially when the conscious mind is relaxed, before sleep.
Okay.
And over time, this can help to cultivate a deep-seated belief in your own ability to attract wealth and abundance.
I'm always a little skeptical of these kind of quick fix approaches.
Right.
Is it really that straightforward?
Well, the book emphasizes that it's not about magic,
Right.
It's about shifting your inner beliefs. It's not about denying the reality of your current financial situation.
Right. But it's about changing your underlying beliefs to create a new reality.
I see.
And it also cautions against, falling into that trap of constantly trying to make ends meet,
Oh, yeah.
because that just reinforces a sense of lack and limitation.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If you're always focused on not having enough, your subconscious might just make that happen.
Exactly. The book encourages us to break free from that scarcity mentality.
Okay.
And embrace the idea that, that we are inherently worthy of abundance.
This reminds me of that story in the book about the young boy who really wanted to be a doctor.
Oh, right.
He would visualize himself, wearing a doctor's coat and treating patients.
Yeah.
And eventually he achieved his dream.
That's a perfect illustration of how, the subconscious mind can be a partner in success.
You have to combine that clear intention with the visualization.
Unbelief.
Right, and belief.
When we do that, we can unlock some incredible potential.
That's a great segue into, the next section of the book.
Which is all about using the power of the subconscious mind for success in all areas of life.
So the book outlines this 3-step approach.
Okay.
First, you identify your true aim.
Yeah.
Something that genuinely resonates with you, something that brings you joy.
It has to be something you're passionate about.
Exactly. If you're not passionate about it, your subconscious mind won't be fully engaged.
That makes sense.
The second step is to make sure your aim not only serves you, but it also benefits humanity in some way.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like creating a ripple effect,
Yes. When our goals align with a greater good, we tap into a powerful force for positive change.
And what's the third step?
The third step is to completely surrender your desire to your subconscious mind, trusting in its wisdom to bring it to pass.
So it's about letting go of control and trusting the process.
Precisely. The book emphasizes that success isn't just about, reaching external goals.
Oh, wow.
It's about aligning yourself with the flow of your subconscious mind.
Which is always moving towards growth, fulfillment, well-being, all that.
Exactly.
It's a very holistic perspective on success, isn't it?
It is. It's not just about climbing the ladder or making money.
Right.
It's about living a life that feels authentic and purposeful.
This whole idea of the subconscious working behind the scenes, it makes me think of those aha moments,
Oh, yeah.
when a solution to a problem just pops into your head out of nowhere.
Absolutely. The book talks about how scientists and creative thinkers, they tap into that power of the subconscious to make breakthroughs.
Oh, I see.
It mentions Nikola Tesla, the inventor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He would meticulously build each invention in his imagination.
Really?
Yeah, before he even set foot in his workshop.
This is like having a mental laboratory.
Exactly. And there are tons of examples of scientists using similar techniques. There's this one story about a naturalist,
Uh-huh.
He was trying to understand the structure of a fossilized fish,
Okay.
but he was missing crucial pieces of the skeleton.
Oh, so he couldn't figure out how it all fit together.
Right, exactly.
Well, how did he solve it?
He had this vivid dream one night.
What?
Yeah, where he saw the complete skeleton, all the missing pieces perfectly in place.
Wow. His subconscious mind just figured it out while he was asleep.
That's the power of the subconscious.
So our minds are always working, even when we're not aware of it.
Absolutely. The book suggests, presenting your subconscious mind with a clear and specific problem or question before you go to sleep,
Okay.
trusting that it will work on it while you rest.
So instead of tossing and turning, worrying about a problem, we should just hand it over to our subconscious.
Exactly. The answer might not come in a literal dream, but it might appear as a sudden insight or intuition the next day. It's like planting a seed. You give your subconscious the information, and then you allow it to work its magic.
Like that story with the young man who was searching for his father's will.
Oh, yeah.
He kept repeating the word answer before sleep. And then the next day, he just had this strong feeling to go to a specific bank.
In Los Angeles.
Yeah, and he found the will there.
It's amazing, right?
It really is.
The subconscious mind delivering exactly what was requested.
It's amazing to think about all the information it might have access to, that we're not even consciously aware of.
It is. Have you had any personal experiences with this?
I wouldn't say it was life-changing or anything, but I used to really struggle with remembering names.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing, especially in professional settings. So I started consciously telling myself before meetings, I will remember everyone's names.
Yeah?
And it actually started to work.
No way.
Yeah, it wasn't immediate, but over time I found myself remembering names more easily.
That's incredible. It shows that we can really train our subconscious minds.
Even for small things.
Yeah, even for small things. And it highlights the importance of, being mindful of our self-talk. Because if we're constantly putting ourselves down or doubting our abilities, we're sending those negative messages to our subconscious.
So we need to treat ourselves with kindness, like we would a friend.
Exactly. The book stresses that we all have this incredible resource within us.
Our subconscious mind.
Yeah, and the more we understand it, the more we can use it to create the lives we truly desire.
This deep dive is giving me so much to think about. And we're just scratching the surface. There's still so much more to explore, like the book's insights on love and marriage and, breaking free from those limiting habits and fears.
Yeah, it really is amazing how the book connects the power of the subconscious mind to so many different parts of life, like, love and marriage, building those harmonious relationships.
That's always a topic I'm interested in. I know the book, it stresses choosing a partner whose ideals really align with your own, but how do we even know what those are, let alone finding someone who actually shares them?
That's a great question. It's not about finding someone who's exactly like you, but someone whose values and goals really complement yours.
Okay.
And it's also about being honest with ourselves about, what we truly want and being willing to put in the work to build that.
So self-awareness, open communication, all that. The book also cautions against trying to change a partner to fit our mold. I think a lot of us are guilty of that.
Yeah, it's a common trap. We think if they would just change this one thing, everything would be perfect. But, trying to force someone into a box they don't fit in, it just leads to frustration.
And resentment.
Yeah.
It's about accepting and appreciating them for who they are, not who we want them to be. The book also talks about disagreements, like how to handle them. It suggests we avoid that habit of antagonism, and really focus on finding common ground.
Right. Shifting from a mindset of winning to a mindset of understanding.
So active listening, empathy, all that.
Exactly. Seeking solutions that benefit both partners.
That sounds a lot healthier than some of the arguments I've seen. It reminds me of the book's emphasis on inner speech, those silent thoughts we have about our partners, how they can impact the relationship.
Absolutely. If we're always criticizing our partner in our minds, those vibes are going to show up in how we interact.
Even if we don't say it out loud.
Exactly. It's about becoming aware of that inner dialogue and choosing thoughts and feelings that promote love and respect.
That makes a lot of sense. Since we're talking about relationships, the book also had some good advice on dealing with difficult people in general, not just romantic partners.
Oh, yeah. One of the key takeaways there is the power of empathy. It encourages us to see the world from their perspective.
So instead of getting angry right away, we should try to understand where they're coming from.
Exactly. Sometimes difficult behavior, it comes from pain or insecurity.
hmm
When we understand that, it's easier to be compassionate.
That's a good point. Doesn't mean we have to condone bad behavior, but it helps us respond better. The book also talks a lot about forgiveness, for healing relationships, and for our own inner peace.
Mhm.
Forgiveness. I've always struggled with that one. Feels like letting the other person off the hook.
It's often misunderstood. It's not about condoning their actions. It's about freeing ourselves from the anger and resentment. There's a story in the book about this man who was just consumed by guilt for a past mistake.
Mhm.
He was constantly reliving it, punishing himself. And then he realized he was actually condemning an innocent man. Like, the person he was holding resentment towards didn't even exist anymore. Both he and that other person had grown and changed.
So forgiveness is really a gift we give ourselves.
Exactly. Letting go of the past and moving forward. This whole conversation has been so insightful. It's amazing how interconnected everything is. Health, relationships, success, forgiveness. It all comes back to the power of our thoughts and beliefs. It's all woven together. And the book keeps exploring this by looking at how our subconscious minds can help us break free from bad habits and overcome our fears.
Oh, right. It mentioned a man struggling with alcoholism, I think. He was able to overcome it by understanding how his subconscious linked certain triggers with drinking.
Yeah, it was almost automatic for him, but he reprogrammed those patterns.
It's amazing that we can change habits like that. But what about fear? I know the book talked about how fear can stop us from living our best lives.
Fear is powerful, but it's often based on things that haven't even happened. Like, the book talks about this businessman terrified of public speaking.
Public speaking. Just thinking about it makes my palms sweat. What happened to him?
He realized he was making the fear worse by what he was telling himself. I'm going to mess up, all that.
So he had to reprogram his mind with those positive affirmations, visualizations.
Exactly. He started visualizing himself speaking confidently, feeling that positive energy from the audience, and it worked. He became a successful public speaker.
It's amazing how much our thoughts shape our experiences. The book also suggests turning to our subconscious for guidance when we're afraid.
It's about surrendering those fears to something bigger, trusting that we'll be guided. There's this line in the book that says, "The infinite intelligence within your subconscious mind can reveal to you everything you need to know at every moment of time and point of space, provided you are open and receptive to its guidance."
So we're not alone in our struggles. We have this resource inside us. We just need to know how to tap into it.
And finally, the book talks about staying young in spirit, no matter how old we are.
We'll like that.
It reminds us that true youthfulness comes from embracing life, with enthusiasm and curiosity.
It's so easy to get caught up in what society tells us about aging. Like our best years are behind us.
But those are just beliefs. The book challenges that, encourages us to see our later years as a time for growth and fulfillment. There are tons of examples of people who achieved great things later in life. Age is just a number.
This whole deep dive has been so inspiring. We've covered so much, from the basics of the subconscious mind to actually applying it to our lives.
It's been a great journey. I hope it encourages people to read this book themselves. There's so much more to uncover.
Before we wrap up, what's the one thing you hope listeners take away from this?
That we all have the power to shape our reality. We have this incredible resource within us, our subconscious minds, and by understanding how it works and using the techniques in the book, we can create lives filled with health, happiness, abundance, all of it.
It's an empowering message. Thanks for sharing your insights with us. It's been great.
It's been my pleasure. And to our listeners, remember, the journey of self-discovery never really ends. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourselves.